gods of the Dunmer.
It is written, my Vvardenfell, my paradise.
Be wary, Trevor. Pilgrims have been attacked on these roads.
At first, I assumed it was the usual house squabbles.
It attacked our camp last night, tore poor Ilva's head off, right in front of me.
You must hunt it. You must kill it.
Ashlanders once respected each other, helped one another.
These nomadic heretics deny the divinity of the tribunal and have no love for
Lies
revenge.
upon lies! Does it give them pleasure to invent reasons to bring us harm?
I'm not sure they deserve to be saved, but that's what we have to do.
I don't need you starting a blood feud.
Sometimes the great gear turns from frustration to opportunity.
Yes? Is there something I can do for you, Outlander?
Sergeant Faldris sent me. He said you needed help finding your daughter?
My daughter has been gone too long, and the house guard can't seem to find a wall in the corner. But why should I trust you with this task? Tell me, Outlander, how can you succeed when my forces continue to fail time and time again?
It seems your daughter knows your people and their tactics. She doesn't know me.
An interesting insight. Perhaps you can find my daughter. Vea can handle herself, but the father worries, you understand? Anyway, I agree with your assessment. That's why I'm willing to bring in outside help on this.
Tell me what happened.
Vea fled after a family disagreement. She's run away before, but I'm concerned that she might have something more permanent in mind this time, and more dangerous. Vea knows how to evade the house guard, but as you said, she doesn't know you.
Alright. I'll try to find your daughter.
Captain Briven oversees the house's attempt to locate my daughter. You should speak to him and see what his investigation has already turned up.
I will do that. Thank you.
Not now, Outlander. If you need some sort of assistance, go find one of the house guard.
Counselor Eris sent me to ask about the investigation to find his daughter.
You must be one of the freelancers the Councilor employed to supplement the duties of the house guard. Very well. I'll tell you what I know. Vea ran away. Again. I hope you can succeed when my troops have failed. If anything happens to Vea...
Sounds like you have a personal stake in this.
I've known the Relith family since I was a child. Vea is like a sister to me, and I'll do everything in my power to get her home safe and sound. Even trust an Outlander. We think her friends may know where she is, but they keep eluding us.
Maybe her friends will be less suspicious if I approach them.
Perhaps. As long as you don't get too close. They've been running notes of late. I think it has something to do with Vea, but the runners keep evading my guards. Look for a group meeting on the other side of town, and see if you can follow the note.
I'll see if I can follow the note.
When you find Vea's friends, remember to keep your distance. You just want to spot the note carrier and follow him to whoever's receiving these messages. That's the key to locating Vea. If you can't do it, don't worry. The house can handle it.
Meliodas will handle this. Don't you worry.
Watch your step. Get this letter to Trevis. It's important. Just don't let House Redoran get their hands on it. If you think you're being followed, find a place to hide. Good luck.
So much to do, so little time.
Hey, runner. Let's see where you go. is switched off. Made another switch.
Let's drink to the ladies.
Well done. This should help us determine what happened to Vea's brother.
Should it now, Revis?
Hello, can I help you? Wait a moment. You're one of those hirelings House Redren pays to harass us simple folk. Look, all Vea wants to do is to find out what happened to her brother. Too bad the house doesn't seem to care a swit about any of that.
Counselor Eris just wants to find his daughter. Will the note you received help me accomplish that?
Vea wants nothing to do with the house or her father. Why can't any of you respect that? Even if I wanted to help, I haven't seen Vea since she snuck out of town. We communicate by notes, and this one isn't even about her.
What's that note about then?
Well, if you must know, it concerns Vea's brother. He was an officer in the House Guard before he vanished without a trace. We've been trying to help Vea find him.
Who are you delivering this information to if you aren't in contact with Vea?
A local tough. Goes by the name of Ashur. He delivers the letters. We usually meet him outside of town to the northeast. But good luck trying to get any information out of him. Ashur is not known for his conversational skills.
I can be very persuasive.
I think we're done here, don't you? I told you where to find Ashur. He's been passing our notes on to Vea. Just to the north and east, outside of town. Or is this your way of offering to save me a trip, since you're headed his way?
Nope. Just here for the information. Thank you, though. Right. Asher.
Dang, Swit. No writ will protect you from us.
Feeling left out? I'm sure I can procure a writ for each of you.
Asher?
That's it! Kill the Morag Tong and any witnesses!
I need aid! Take my leave. No use getting my axes bloody again.
You stand in my way. Asher?
I had that situation under control. Just needed them to make the first hostile move. Still, I cleaned enough blood off my axes for one day, so thanks for lending a hand.
I was told to meet you out here.
You were you? Was it Melissa? I told her I'd close out my tab after I completed another contract. That woman has the patience of an anxious Nyx. Well, tell her I'm good for it. I'll stop by and we can conclude our business cordially.
No, I'm here about Vea.
Vea? The new apprentice? Now why in oblivion do you care about Vea?
Trying to find her.
Are you now? And why do you want to do that? Never mind, I don't really care. I was asked to pass along some notes, but I'm not really the messenger type. I suggest you talk to Vea's mentor. Last I heard, she had a job in the Western Ruins.
I'll look for Vea's mentor in the ruins to the west.
Make sure you don't anger Vea's mentor, or even look at her the wrong way. She's grown surprisingly protective of that young woman, and if she thinks you pose a danger... Besides, I'd hate to see you wind up on the wrong end of one of our writs.
Well, that's nice. Or are those townfolk trying to kill you, though?
You know, the usual buyer's remorse. I see a lot of that in my line of work. Turns out, I had to kill a bad man who did bad things. The writ was legal and above board. Unfortunately, his brother didn't see it that way and was looking for revenge.
Well, tell me more about Vea's mentor.
I'd rather not. She's particular about her secrets, and I don't want to get on a bad side. You should keep that in mind too if you plan to continue on this course. Vea's mentor usually sticks to the rules, but I wouldn't turn my back on her.
Oh, I'll keep that in mind, thank you. Gotta find Vea's mentor in the Western Ruins.
Leave me, Outlander. Let me die in the shame I've brought to Malakath. Defeated by a lone warrior. Malakath will laugh at our incompetence.
What happened to you?
An assassin. Probably a Morag tongue. She tracked our leader here. But she doesn't know. We set a trap inside the ruins. Oh.
Hey.
She's just one woman! Get inside the ruins and stop her!
That woman is mine. Take that. You stand in my way. Anyone else? Now. I need past you. Who's next? Nothing will stop between me.
Let the assassin come. I'm tired of running and she doesn't frighten me.
My goal. Who's next? Just a moment.
You're not a cultist. At least you sure aren't dressed like one. You're walking into a dangerous place, hero. You must be here for a reason.
I came to find you, ask you.
Questions? I don't have time for questions. I have a writ to complete. Look, I can't keep these evil cultists waiting. You want to talk? Find me after I finish this job.
I'll find you.
Come out, little assassin! Or is the Morag Tong too scared to meet the powerful snake face to face?
One's taking out all these Olgrams. This one. Who's next?
Circle around! Move to flank!
A healthy man? How sweet.
By Malakath's sacred tusks, you won't get past me!
From the sides!
Who's next?
Excuse me, hero. I have to see an orc about a writ.
Don't kill me. I didn't mean to interfere with House Tolvani's plans. I made a mistake.
A mistake? Well, that explains everything. I'll just let the Tolvani know. I'm sure Mage Valen will understand.
Oh, that's a relief. I thought for sure you were going to kill me.
Where'd you go?
I hate when my leathers get wet. And this is a new outfit, too. Ah, well. I suppose we ought to discuss what you're doing here.
Yes.
You're obviously not one of the Malakath cultists, so I have one question. Why the tusk are you following me, and why shouldn't I just kill you and be done with it? Yes, that was 2 questions, and an orc curse, and a threat. It's been a long day.
I'm looking for Counselor Eris's daughter, Bea.
Oh, that's not what I expected. But you can just turn around and leave. You're not going to find her. Faye is going through a difficult time right now. And the last thing she needs is some house veteran lackey adding to her pain and confusion.
Her father just wants to find her and know that she's safe.
Really? Is that what old man Eris told you? And did he tell you about Vea's brother? About how House Redwin exiled their favorite son? No? I didn't think so. Vea needs answers and I promise to help her. So walk away while you still can.
If you don't let me help, you'll have to deal with others. They're hiring outsiders to find Vea.
Outsiders? Is her father really that desperate? Look, tell Eris that Vea's safe and you'll see her soon, but no more outsiders. If my organization gets skittish, they'll return to the shadows and take Vea with them. We'll only deal with you.
Is all that really true? Will you set a meeting with Vea?
Well, it's not exactly a lie, and I don't want things to get out of hand. I'll arrange a meeting, provided Vea agrees. You let Eris know she's safe. Get him to stop hiring freelancers before someone gets hurt. I'll send word when we're ready.
Alright. I shall let him know. You better hold up your end or I'll find you. Leotis doesn't like the trip. Out of my way. More of you.
Honor and service.
Counselor?
I'm surprised to see you back here, but I'm also relieved. Does this mean you have news about my daughter? Is she safe? Is she ready to come home?
Vea is safe. You joined the Morag Tong, and they're arranging a meeting.
Vea? Joined that cult of assassins? I was afraid she'd do something rash. What was she thinking? I don't see the Morag Tong as safe, but at least she's still alive, so I suppose that's something. When are we going to meet with my daughter?
Not us, just me. But tell me, what happened to Vea's brother?
She won't meet with me? No, I suppose she's not ready for that quite yet. As for Vea's brother, that was all the doing of the Redoran Council. I'm not allowed to discuss the details, but he's still alive, if that's what Vea is worried about.
Ryu said to call off the other freelancers or she'll take Vea and disappear.
Naryu's back in town? She's as stubborn as Vea. Very well. No other outsiders. Although I can't dismiss the mercenaries that Captain Brivin employs. House Redoran is my life, as is Vea. I'll do everything in my power to see her home safely.
Your daughter is safe. Just let me handle this and I'll try to get her to meet with you.
As you say. No other outsiders. But there are rules, Outlander. I must do everything within reason to maintain the honor of House Redoran. Here, your first payment. Soon, however, I'll expect more than just a verbal confirmation of Vea's safety. When next you see her, tell my daughter that I want to talk to her. Vea can set the terms, but I expect her to stop running away when things don't go her way.
I'll convey the message, but I need to know exactly what you and Vea argued about.
Vea has always felt shackled by the rules of House Redoran, hobbled by the many duties and obligations it presses upon its subjects. After the situation involving her brother, she decided she wanted nothing more to do with the house, or with me.
So your strict observance of rules and obligations caused this rift between you and your daughter.
That may be an oversimplification, but I suppose your statement is accurate. I walk a narrow path between House Counselor and loving father. Unfortunately, the former often supersedes the latter. That's why I want to speak to Vaya again.
I'll try to arrange a meeting as soon as I can. Now, let's see if we can contact her.
Well, look at that. Now you said I'd find you here, and did I mention how much I hate being a messenger? Makes me wish I had a writ so I could kill something. Anyway, Nayu wants to talk to you. Said you'd know what it was all about.
Alright, where do I need to go?
Here. This should explain everything, sort of. It's a map. We change locations every other day for security reasons, just in case it falls into the hands of House Redorin or someone else with an axe to grind with our organization.
What do I do with this?
Never had to use a map before. Amateurs. This one leads to a key to one of our safe houses, and another map. The first map, it depicts a particular town, kind of like this one. Hint, hint. The rest? Well, you'll have to figure that out on your own.
I'll try to decipher the map.
Look, I know you're helping Councillor Eris, but if that map falls into House Redorin hands, I'll probably have to kill you. Nothing personal, mind you. We're already having a bit of trouble with the house, and we'd rather not make matters worse.
Seems promising. Right. Okay, let's see. Oh. This looks like the place. Alright, how are you? Where's Vaya?
Sorry about all the subterfuge, but we can't be too careful when it comes to security around here.
Can I meet with Vaya now?
Don't be so eager, my darling. It reveals too much about your ultimate intentions. But yes, Vaya would very much like to meet with you. You intrigue her, and your connection to her father could prove beneficial once she knows she can trust you.
And how do I prove she can trust me?
Redorin records. House officials keep track of everything. Incidents, commendations, births and deaths. Whether important or mundane, they detail it all in their registry. Vaya believes the registry contains information about her brother Ulram.
She wants me to steal the House Redorin registry.
Don't sound so offended. You had to know your hands were going to get dirty eventually. You are dealing with assassins and politicians, after all. The local keeper of records, Lord Drano, is away, so security at his townhouse should be light.
Steal the registry from Lord Drano's townhouse. Got it. Great. Couldn't be easy, could it? Right. Shoot, hide. Need to get downstairs. Good. Got it. Oh. Go, 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 go. Ooh. Alright, okay. Get out of here. Oh. Woman is proving to be more trouble than she's worth. Now, can I meet her?
Still alive, I see. And since you're here, that means you weren't captured and hauled off to a Redoran dungeon. Good for you. Were you able to acquire the registry? And does it contain any information about Vea's brother, Ulron?
The book mentions that someone named Ulron was stripped of his rank and exiled.
Ulron was exiled? That can't be right. He's an exemplary officer and a good man. Plus, he's the son of a counselor. Why in oblivion would House Redoran banish one of their brightest stars?
That's what it says in the registry.
I can see that. There has to be more to the story, but I'm not sure how we get it. Still, you proved you could be trusted, and you admirably performed this task. So I suppose I should let you meet with Vea now.
Where's Vea?
There's an abandoned cave along the coast. It's in the swamp and smells like rot, which makes it the perfect place to hide. Vea's supposed to wait inside, but she's bored. I know she's been sneaking out. You'll find her in the cave or just outside.
I'll go to the swamp and talk to Vea.
Get to the swamp and find Vea. She's eager for any information about her brother, so she's really going to appreciate getting that registry. Just try not to be too charming when you meet her hero. She has enough distractions as it is.
Right. Keep that in mind, thanks.
And you're sure it's Vea? House Redoran isn't emptying its coffers so you can chase your own tails out here.
You pay the war claws well, because the war claws are the best there is. We have the kitten scent. It's just a matter of time before my warriors catch her.
Of course, Ferrara. Just make sure she doesn't get out of the swamp. I'll take my soldiers and guard the eastern paths, in case she eludes your warriors again. Ah, the Counselor's lackey. I understand you've made significant progress in your search for Vea. As a matter of fact, so have we. This whole ordeal will be over soon, and then you can be on your way,
Over?
Outlander.
What makes you say that?
My mercenaries have spotted Vea skulking about the northern portion of the swamp. Between my soldiers and Ferhara's warclaws, the Counselor's daughter will soon be home safe and sound.
What do you know about Ulron's exile?
Vea's brother. It's a sad story. Killed one of his own soldiers to protect an Ashlander of all things. I think they were being too lenient when they simply exiled him. But that's how they treat the privileged few.
Vea's brother killed a Redoran soldier?
Ulron always had an unnatural attraction to the Ashlanders and their savage ways. He felt that an Ashlander life was worth more than a Redoran life. The Council didn't agree with his assessment. This will all be over as soon as Ferhara finds Vea.
Counselor Eris hired me to find his daughter, and that's what I plan to do. Meliodas is of the Khajiit of his word.
As you say, Ferharar's war claws take their contract as seriously as you do, however. Get in their way, and I can't guarantee your safety.
I'll keep that in mind, Captain.
Ferhara assumes the Councilor's minions will not present a problem for the war clause. Yes, Captain?
The Outlanders have been warned, Ferharar. I mean everything else to your discretion.
Ah, there. There you are.
Stupid war claws. Oh, I know. By the three! You really shouldn't sneak up on a person like that. If you're working with those mercenaries, I assure you, you won't take me without a fight.
I may be Khajiit, but Meliodas has no ties with the war clause. I'm working with Nariu. I have information concerning your brother.
Oh, right. Nariu mentioned something about that. Look, I can't wait to hear what you learned. But the swamp is crawling with mercenaries. There's a cave to the northeast. We can talk there.
Lead on and I'll follow you.
Unfortunately, there's a mob of those beast people between here and the cave. I was going to try and sneak past them, but every time I get too close, I think one of them catches my scent.
Alright, I'll deal with the war clause. You get to the cave.
You're going to tackle that mob of fur and claws? I'm impressed. Meet me at the cave when you're finished. I think we have a lot to talk about. Oh, and try not to get killed. I really want to know what you came all this way to tell me.
I'll see you in the cave shortly.
Meet me in the cave to the north when you finish with the mercenaries.
Alright, this shouldn't take long.
I can smell the dark elf kitten.
Smell this!
What's here?
Healer! I need healing.
War claws! Let's flay this outsider!
You think your flame can match mine? Now. That's been handled. Bea?
What do you think of my luxurious accommodations? It's got dirt and rock, fungus and a poultry fire, all the comforts of home. Anyway, you said you had information about my brother, Oran. What did you find out?
According to the House Veteran Registry, your brother Oran was stripped of his rank and exiled.
No, that can't be right. Oran's honorable and noble. He's a model soldier. What could he have possibly done to warrant being banished?
According to Captain Briven, Oran killed one of his own soldiers to protect an Ashlander.
What? My brother has always been interested in the Ashlanders. Even showed them a kindness the rest of the house doesn't approve of. But for him to kill someone, especially one of his own soldiers, something terrible must have happened.
Any idea where I can find these Ashlanders? They may be able to tell us about the incident.
I know the tribe that Oran liked to help. Brought them supplies and such. He'd go and visit their camp whenever our father wasn't paying attention. Will you go with me to talk to them? Wait, someone's coming.
Get behind me!
She can handle herself just fine, hero. Vea, grab your things. It's time to go.
Go? Why? What's going on?
The Warclaws are marching toward this cave along with half the House Redwin soldiers in Balmora. We need to go now.
Damn it. They must have followed us. I'll get my stuff.
Right. Tamriel, what's the plan?
Dealing with an arrogant, impatient, overconfident young woman. Now I know how my mother must have felt. We need to move. It won't take those damn cats long to find this place, not with their sense of smell.
What do you suggest?
The back tunnels. Better than heading out the front door and right into the main contingent of Redoran troops. Councillor Eris brought additional soldiers from town. He's intent on getting his daughter, and he may have the numbers to do it.
So the back tunnels it is.
One more thing. The back tunnels wind their way through territory that House Redoran recently acquired. We may run into some resistance, but it shouldn't be as bad as what's waiting outside the front of the cave.
We'll just have to be careful then. Let's go.
Does the ceiling look unstable to you?
Search everywhere. Captain Privet thinks the Councillor's kitten might try to escape through these tunnels.
Damn! Those cat bastards are harder to shake than a blind date.
I'll deal with any war claws we find, don't you worry. This isn't Meliodas' first.
I can't get captured and taken back to my father. Not when I'm this close to finding my brother.
And you won't. Trust Meliodas. He's no novice.
That must be the way out. I just hope there aren't any Redorans up there.
We're about to find out.
Oh no. Father ruins everything. I'm so close to finding my brother and he shows up to drag me back home. Well, I'm not going back without a fight.
I'll cause a distraction so you can get out of here.
You do that for me? Thanks, I guess. But what can you possibly do against all those soldiers? My father brought the whole damn army with him this time.
Your father hired me to find you and set up a meeting. I might as well give him a progress report.
Clever. Tell my father whatever he wants to hear. That might actually work. Afterward, meet me at the Ashlander camp to the south. My brother would often visit that particular tribe. It's as good a place as any to start.
Will you meet with your father after you find your brother?
Once I find Ulran and make sure he's alright, I'll meet with my father. But that meeting will be on my terms, not his. And tell him to call off his soldiers, or I might change my mind. That should buy us some time.
I'll tell him.
Halt! Who goes there?
Stand down. These outlanders work for me.
Councillor Eris. Captain Briven.
The captain reported that he had seen you in the area. There are also multiple reports that Vaya has been spotted. Tell me, have you seen my daughter? I won't sleep well until she's home, safe and sound.
I thought we agreed you wouldn't use any other outsiders.
I also said that the captain has his own resources. The war claws report to Briven, not me. Look, we're all just trying to get my daughter home safely. Now, tell me what Vaya's thinking.
Vaya will meet with you, but on her own terms. All these soldiers have scared her away.
It was a gamble, I admit. An opportunity I couldn't let slip away. You won't make me feel guilty about trying to find my daughter. So, where and when will Vaya meet with me?
Soon. She asked me to do one more thing, and then she'll be ready to meet with you.
Very well. We'll do this her way. Vaya can be as stubborn as her mother sometimes. But tell my daughter that my patience won't last forever. Next time, I expect Vaya to be with you. or I might just let Captain Briven do this his way.
I'll let her know.
Well, those certainly aren't Ashlanders, not with those tails.
This is disturbing.
Vaya?
I can't believe this. Why allow the Warclaws to run roughshod over the camp like this? What's House Ridderin thinking? And what in the name of the three have they done with the Ashlanders?
You sure this was an Ashlander camp?
My brother often visited this camp. Took me along a couple of times. It used to be such a vibrant place, so full of life. I know House Ridderin wants to expand along the western coast, but I never expected they'd set the Warclaws loose like this.
You think your brother and the Ashlanders are still here?
If Ulran was here, he'd never stand for the Warclaws invading the camp. He told me the Ashlanders were the same as you and I. Different beliefs don't necessarily make people bad. We need to see if we can find out what happened here.
I'll look around and see what I can find.
I really want to help, but Naryu won't hear of it. We don't get our hands dirty unless there's a writ attached. She's so fond of reminding me. We'll hang around and wait for you to find something before we move in.
Stay out of the way of the war claws until I find out where your brother is.
Vaya, I don't think this is a good idea. We're trying to keep you out of House Redrin hands, remember?
You're not my parent, Naryu. I can take care of myself, even if the Mother of Blades doesn't think so.
Okay.
Damn it, Vaya. You know I hate that title.
House Redoran orders to the warriors of Scrib Battalion, including the soldiers of House Redoran and the mercenaries of Faraha's Warclaws. Scrib Battalion is tasked with reclaiming the Kadund mine and surrounding countryside from Ashlander squatters. Ashlanders mistakenly believe that all land is free. They will resist our efforts to clear them from the specified sites. With this in mind, heed the following orders. 1. Do not use force against the Ashlanders unless absolutely necessary. A peaceful transaction of territory is preferred over taking the area through violence. 2. Allow the Ashlanders to leave the vicinity provided they comply with Redoran law. 3. If any Ashlanders resist, disarm the agitators and imprison them for the duration of the engagement. 4. If force must be used, make sure it is applied swiftly and to maximum effort. Captain Briven. Oh, hello. Attack me. Don't you know who I am? Wise woman.
If I'd realized how popular this camp was going to be with Outlanders, I would have moved the tribe ages ago. You don't appear to be one of the heretical invaders, but looks can be deceiving. What do you seek, stranger?
I'm looking for Ulran Rilith.
Ah, Ulran the Exile. He disgraced his family and lost his status, but remained true to his heart. Ulran is here. He tried to stand against the Redorans, just as they detained me within this yurt.
Where's Ulran now?
I assume they dragged him off to the mine, along with most of the tribe who refused to let those tribunal dogs walk all over us. Or should I say tribunal cats in this instance. Be wary. The mine will be as protected as the camp, maybe even more so.
Tell me more about this mine.
It's a small hole in the ground, but it served us well until the Redorans and their Warclaws arrived. Now they toss my people aside and lock the door. Warclaw Irgazar carries the key, but there is a spare in the supply yurt.
I'll get the key and locate Ulran.
Get the key to the mine from either the Warclaw's commander or the supply yurt, whichever suits your needs. Perhaps you'll find what you seek within Kudanot's depths.
Why didn't they send you to the mine with the rest of your people?
To keep the head and the body separate. As long as I'm here, I can't offer my people hope or advice. And I certainly can't compel them to rebel against these invaders.
I can help you escape.
I have no doubt. However, my place remains with my people, at least for now. The Warclaws have treated me well so far. They believe I can make their tails fall off if I so choose. Who am I to dissuade such creatures from their beliefs?
Right. Thank you, wise woman. Right, now, get into the mine. There's one thing Khajiit are good at, it's sneaking. Though I was raised by orcs, still know some tricks.
We're just going to burn them? Even the rhetoric?
The captain called them traitors and savages. Said the good roasting was more than they deserved.
Intruders! Warclaws, attack!
Thanks for that. Dang.
Down here! Come on! Wait. What's that smell?
Don't come in here.
Veya, stay back. You don't need to see this.
What happened here? Oh gods! They murdered these poor Ashlanders! Oh no!
No, Veya!
Oran! Oran! Wake up, please! You can't be dead. You just can't!
Alright.
Veya shouldn't have had to see this. Even I'm finding it hard to believe that the mercenaries would slaughter these Ashlanders for no reason. Not to mention the son of a house counselor. Doesn't make any sense.
If he tried to defend the Ashlanders.
I suppose anything could happen in the heat of the moment. But to kill a Redrun, even an exiled one, that's presumptuous even for the Warclaws. I wonder if Eris knows about this. I'm not sure how Veya's going to get her answers now.
I found this speaking stone on Oren's body.
I've seen these before. They use them in Eastmarch to record and send important messages. They're expensive and as rare as a sober Nord, but Oron was always attracted to the contrivances of other cultures. Shall we see what it has to say?
If it can shed light on what happened here, I say yes.
If you're listening to my voice, know that my time is short, and what I have to say is important.
Brother, is that you?
Everything that happened was a deliberate act to discredit me. I need to report the events so my sister can learn the truth about her brother. You have to understand, I don't share my house's hatred and distrust of Ashlanders. So, during my normal patrol, when I heard that Ashlanders had come to Balmora, were causing trouble, I was dubious to say the least. I arrived to find one of my soldiers arguing with the Ashlanders. He spat at them, called them savages. When one of the Ashlanders objected, my soldier drew his sword. Before I could intervene, my soldier's blade struck him down. I ordered the soldier to stand down, but he ignored me and stepped toward the second Ashlander. I killed my own soldier. I had to. Before I knew it, I was dragged before the Redoran Council and exiled. I never even got to say farewell to my sister. I believe I was set up for this fall, but I don't know by who. I came to this camp for shelter, but House Redoran's reach grows ever longer. Now Captain Briven's here. I'm going to talk to them, just in case I made this stone for my sister Vea.
Oran! Damn it! What am I supposed to do now? Oran's not supposed to be dead. That wasn't the way this was supposed to end. What am I gonna do now? Damn Oran for leaving me that damn message! And damn him for dying on me! Gods, I miss my brother.
Sorry for your loss, Vea.
I still don't understand. Oran said someone set him up to fall. Who would do such a thing? And why would they do it? Oran never wanted to hurt anyone.
It sounds like your brother was a good man.
So that's why they exiled him? That's why they killed him? He was too damn good? That's the problem? We've got to find out who did all this. They won't get away with this. I won't allow it.
We'll find out who did this to him.
Oh, I'll find them all right. And when I do, they'll pay for what happened to Oran. I swear by Mafala's sacred web and the first blood my blade ever tasted, I'm going to avenge my brother.
I agree with Ulron's assessment. Certainly sounds like someone led him into a situation guaranteed to make him fail. I can't believe he put this burden on Vea, though. What was Ulron thinking?
You don't think we should continue the investigation to investigate Oren's death?
I didn't say that. Just not sure how to proceed. We're entering dangerous waters here, going up against House Redoran, and we don't even have a writ to protect us.
So what do we do next?
I'm going to take Vea and head back to our safe house in Balmora. They found our cave, but the abandoned basement is still secure. After that, I'm not sure. The Morag Tong has rules. If I break them, I'll have to deal with the consequences.
Tell me about the Morag Tong's rules.
We can't just kill with wild abandon. We follow a code. We only execute those whose names appear on sanctioned writs. If we kill respectable citizens without a writ, that's just murder. So, without proof and a proper writ, my hands are tied.
I suppose I should let Counselor Eris know about his son.
You do that, but be careful. We're not sure who in the House Redoran is involved, and I'd rather not see you wind up like these poor Ashlanders. Vea and I still need your help to get to the bottom of all of this. We'll see you in Balmora, hero.
So glad to know you care.
And so the Outlander returns, as we discussed in the swamp. I expected you to return with Vea, or present me with a time and place for us to meet. Tell me, Outlander, which is it to be?
There is a complication.
Complication? What kind of complication? I ordered my soldiers to stand down and let you do things your way. But instead of results, you bring me excuses.
Your son is dead. He was killed during the House Redoran raid on the Ashlander camp.
No, that's not possible. My son was banished, ordered to leave Vvardenfell and never return. Why would he disobey me and go to those savages?
Vea was with me. You confirmed it was her brother, Oren.
Vea was with you? And you left her out there? By the three, everything is unraveling no matter how hard I try to maintain control. I need you to do something else for me if you would, Outlander.
What else do you need me to do, Counselor?
Tell my daughter I'm sorry. Tell her she needs to stay away until I can calm things down. I don't want to see anything happen to her. Promise me. And take this. Consider it payment for your efforts thus far. If you'll excuse me, I need some time to consider everything you've told me. Once I determine the best way to proceed, I'll contact you. In the meantime, make sure Vaya stays away from Balmora and House Redoran.
Sounds like I need to talk to Captain Brivin. Where can I find him?
The captain serves House Redoran with honor and dedication. He's out doing his job. If Brivin had anything to do with my son's death, he would have reported it to me. He'd have no reason to keep such news from me and the other counselors.
Orin left behind a speaking stone. His last message indicated that he planned to talk to Brivin.
I'll speak to Brivin when he returns. But understand, the captain operated under my orders. He's an exemplary soldier and an upstanding member of the House. Like me, everything he does is for the betterment of House Redoran.
Did you order the attack on the Ashlander camp?
It was never meant to be an attack. I sent Captain Brivin to clear land that already belonged to House Redoran. The Ashlanders were given an opportunity to depart. The situation didn't have to turn violent. Those damn savages should have just left.
It was an Ashlander camp. How is that Redoran land?
House Redoran has been slowly expanding in that direction for years. We claimed that area almost a year ago, but we were forced to temporarily abandon it when a massive ash storm hit. Before we could return, the Ashlanders moved in.
Why not just let them use the land? They're nomads. They would have left eventually.
Redoran depends on that land for hunting and resources. The Ashlanders are like a plague of insects. They sweep into an area, take everything, and move on. We couldn't allow them to do that here. So, I sent Captain Brivin to convince them otherwise.
Oh. I'm gonna go have a word with Captain Brivin. First, there are a few things I do need to take care of. Asher?
Outlander, over here.
Something I can help you with? Message, maybe?
Now you told me what you found in the Ashlander mine. I can't imagine what Vaya must be going through right now, but she shouldn't be alone. That's why I came looking for you.
Why me? Isn't Naru with her?
Nayu has responsibilities to tend to. Morag Tong responsibilities. Understand? She left me to keep Vaya company, but I'm not very good at spouting words of comfort and solace. Unless I can kill something, I'm very good at that.
So you want me to talk to Vaya?
You do understand. And now you implied you're as dense as the ash storms coming off Red Mountain. Good to know even the Mother of Blades can be wrong. Vaya's upset, and not just about her brother. She wanted to go with Nayu.
Alright, I'll go talk to Vaya.
Another thing, Nayu's job concerns House Redoran. That's why she didn't want Vaya to accompany her on this one. Vaya's grief-stricken, angry, and ready to lash out at anyone and anything, so keep your head low and try not to upset her.
Sounds like you had some experience getting on Vaya's bad side.
I have experience getting on a lot of people's bad sides. Women, especially, find me exasperating. Irresistible, but exasperating. It's a gift.
Why does Vaya want to go with Naru?
Something about who Nayu's target is. Thinks the target may know something about what happened to her brother. Look, I'm not even sure how Vaya found out who Nayu's target is, and I don't want to know. Just go and talk to her, please.
Any advice on how I should approach Vaya?
Carefully, and with your hands empty and clearly visible. She's in the safe house beneath Balmora, or at least that's where I left her. But I didn't lock the door, so I suppose she could be anywhere by now. I suggest you hurry and get down there.
Thanks, Asher. Helpful as always.
Get out of here, Asher. I don't need a nursemaid, no matter what Naru might think.
Not Asher. Me, Meliodas.
Oh, it's you. Sorry about that.
Vaya?
Did Asher send you to check up on me? I swear, the next person that treats me like a child is going to find my dagger in their stomach. Gods, I'm not mad at you. I'm just annoyed at everybody right now.
You want me to leave?
No, I don't think so. It's just been difficult. Finding poor Ulran in the Ashlander camp. I need to be doing something. Sitting down here in the dark, hiding, that's not going to solve anything.
But Naru told you to stay here.
I know, but Naryu's writ. It involves a Redoran counselor. Exactly the opportunity I've been waiting for. The counselor knows who set up my brother. We need to talk to her before Naryu executes the writ. Do this for me, and I promise to stay here.
Alright, where can I find Naru?
Well, Naryu wouldn't tell me any specifics, but she trained me well. It wasn't hard to sneak a glance at the writ before she took off. Her target's at Arenum Manor, out in the swamp. Not far from that smelly cave, actually.
Great. I'll go to Arenum Manor and see if we can delay Naru's kill long enough to learn anything.
I appreciate you agreeing to see what you can learn at Arenum Manor. My father used to say it was used by counselors as a retreat, but Mother always told me it was where they conducted business that required a certain degree of privacy.
Told your father what happened to Oren.
You did? How did he take it? I mean, he didn't know that my brother was dead.
He didn't know, and he seemed as upset as you are over the news.
Really? I suppose that makes sense. I think he loves us, in his own way. But what else did he say? Did he know that Ulran had been banished?
He told Ulran to go to the mainland. He didn't expect him to turn to the Ashlanders for shelter.
He didn't expect... My father doesn't know his children as well as he thinks. Either of them. That's why I had to get away. Join the Morag Tong. At least Naryu understands me. Mostly.
Your father said you should avoid House Redoran until he can sort out what happened.
I can't agree to that. I need to figure out what happened to my brother, who was involved, and then I'm going to make them pay. Just you watch.
Have you given any thought to your brother's message?
That's all I've been doing. Thinking. And I think Ulran was right. I think someone wanted him out of the way, and they orchestrated the event with the Ashlanders to do it. Someone played my brother for a fool, and it cost him his life.
What can you tell me about Captain Briven?
Briven's as stubborn as my father when it comes to following the rules and regulations of House Redoran. Ulran and Briven were best friends, even if they argued from time to time.
What did Briven and Ulran argue about?
Politics, foreign relations, the Ashlanders. You name an issue, and Ulran and Briven were probably on opposite sides of the argument. It got to the point where I had to ignore both of them or they'd drive me insane.
Right. Well, sounds like I don't have much time to waste then. Let you know what I learn.
2 hours ago, hero. It's not polite to keep an assassin waiting. I was wondering how long it was going to take Vare to convince you to follow me. But she thought I didn't notice when she glanced at my writ, didn't she? Where is my overly curious apprentice, by the way?
Vaya stayed in Balmora. She wants me to see what your target knows about Oren's exile and murder.
I know Vare wants answers, but this is my job. There are rules, especially where the lords of the great houses are concerned. There might be a way to deal with this, though, provided you're willing to help.
What do you need me to do?
First, don't kill any Redrons. That's a violation of my writ and could have serious consequences for both of us. Second, you sneak around and search for anything that pertains to Ulran's exile while I figure out how to deal with the counselor.
Alright. I'll see what I can turn up.
We need to be invisible. These things work best when no one but the target knows we're there. If you get spotted, you're on your own. I even cough on anyone without a writ, and the Morag Tong will have my head.
I'll keep that in mind. Was sneaking around. Rather just go into the front door. Nice and easy.
That's what he said.
The front door's guarded like a bank vault. Maybe there's another way in through one of the buildings by the docks. This looks promising. Might even lead to the wine cellars. I could use a good bottle of wine.
Of course you could. We need to wait for him to move again.
You do not want to get on my bad side, trust me.
Hected. Son of a gun. Maybe we'll follow you like this. As soon as he turns that corner. Perfect. Oh, it was a close one.
See what you can find pertaining to Ulran. I've got a dagger and a writ with Councillor Dolvara's name on them.
Okay. Not sure how you don't see me. Members of Veteran Council, the next meeting shall take place at the Veteran Consulate just outside of Balmora. Agenda items include current events in your territory, financial updates, house relations, presentation of pending issues, and propositions for adding items to future agendas. Please bring all pertinent logs and records for a presentation and review by Councillor Mariath.
If we don't find anything, maybe we can ask for an invitation to the upcoming council meeting. I'm sure they'd be happy to answer our questions.
Oh. You would be back there. House Kin, please be advised that the following groups and organizations may be operating against the best interests of House Redoran. As such, be vigilant and cautious in your dealings with these groups, and uphold all House rules and strictures accordingly. Ashlander's tribes, the savages continue to gather near Aldrunes and the nearby environs. Obviously, the presence of the savages hampers House efforts to expand into the region, and the Ashlanders are worse than fetcher flies. In any event, the High Council will debate options and formulate plans at their next meeting. In the meantime, avoid Ashlander contact as much as possible. Morag Tong, while House Redoran accepts the will of the tribunal and allows that the Morag Tong have the authority to operate within Dunmer territory, we also consider them to be murderers and criminals in the eyes of the House law. We view this doubly so, doubly so, as other houses have begun to use the Morag Tong against us to undermine Redoran interest and elevate their own standing. As a general practice, House Redoran will not employ the services of the Morag Tong, nor will it allow the Morag Tong to indiscriminately execute our members. House Lanu. While we technically consider House Halalu to be a friend and ally, Halalu practices that undermine Redoran trade routes and business ventures have grown increasingly frequent in recent weeks. Halalu, actively in and around Balmora, has become particularly alarming, as they appear to want to take control of the city for themselves. Report any overt or suspicious Halalu activity to your House Counselor immediately.
So House Redoran issued an advisory against the Morag Tong? Fat lot of good that's going to do the Counselor.
Fine. Councillor Dolvora, the unfortunate events surrounding the demotion and subsequent banishment of Olrun Relith have left the High Council extremely disappointed. This isn't what we expected from the promising son of an old and respected family. The report detailing Olrun's trial, while informative, did nothing to alleviate our concerns. In light of what occurred, the High Council requests a favor from you. First, since you often operate in the Balmora region, we'd like you to monitor Councillor Eris's actions for the relative future. We have every faith in Councillor Eris, but Olrun is his son, after all. And to that, the disturbing news about his daughter and the Morag Tong, and you can see why we have concerns. Second, since the promotion of Brivin Malram to the rank of captain and commander of Redoran's western forces, we have received troubling reports of the unauthorized escalation of use of mercenary companies, specifically Faraha's war clause. Contract soldiers are expected to abide by all house laws and regulations, but Faraha's mercenaries tend to deviate from standard practices on a frequent basis. We especially dislike hearing reports of excessive violence with regards to the treatment of Ashlanders. Harsh treatment, as you know, must always be authorized. Use your connection and personal relationship with the Releth family to urge Councillor Eris to get his affairs in order. We'd appreciate it if the disquiet in Balmora settled down before the upcoming council meeting. High Councillor Mariath.
Damn the luck! I was hoping for a quick stab and go, but it seems the Counselor might actually know something about Olrun. So Councillor Dolvra does know something about Vea's brother. Damn it all. Now I suppose you want to actually talk to her before I execute the walking pile of pond scum.
Don't we need to find out what she knows about Olrun?
Of course we do. I specifically waited for you to arrive because I figured that would be the case. Still doesn't mean I'm happy about blurring the line between helping Vea and performing my duty as a Morag Tong.
What do you think about the other information we found?
We discovered that the next meeting of the High Council will take place at the consulate outside Balmora. The war clause and the Ashlander abuse aren't completely sanctioned by the House, and Dolvera was present when Olrun was exiled. Not a bad haul.
And that all means?
That means we have to get Dolvera to spill her guts before I spill her guts. Just keep your wits about you, hero. Dolvera wields her feminine charms the way I wield my daggers. Don't let her seduce you into doing something stupid before I end her.
I'll keep that in mind, Naru. Now, let's see what she knows.
Be quick with your questions, hero. When I slip in, so do my daggers.
Right. I'll keep that in mind.
Ah, you must be here about those pesky patrol schedules.
My dearest
all that
Dolvera,
clandestine
your efforts on behalf of House Halalu
pleasure
in
to
regards to our
finally meet
interest
you
in
in
Balmora excite me to no end. Best to keep the houses on
closer so
equal
we can
footing, and
celebrate
what
our
better way to
partnership
accomplish that than
in a
by mutual
proper
trust and cooperation between two influential insiders. The information you passed along was exceedingly helpful. Take this beautiful collection of jewels as a thank you. Hopefully they'll keep you enthralled until my next visit. Speaking of visits, our mutual associates in House Drez have agreed to finally meet with you face to face. I'm sure the same charms you used to captivate me will have a similar effect on the Drez agent. Once you get to know each other a little better, I have no doubt that you will be able to improve the slave trade 100-fold. Why let the tribunal and a few pact rules get in the way of profit and our cherished way of life? About Avlela. Avlela. Counselor Dolvera, thanks to your impressive recommendation, I've been given command of our forces in the Balmora region and promoted to the rank of captain. Remind me that I owe you the next time I can get away from my duties for an hour or two. I've taken the liberty of reassigning most of the soldiers previously under Olran's command in order to provide them with a chance to start fresh under the new regime. Only Vatalo Telem's squad remains intact. They were with Olran on the day of the incident, and I want to personally debrief them before I make any sweeping changes. In the meantime, I've sent them to scout the old fort west of Balmora to keep them busy. Also, I wanted to thank you for reconnecting me with Faraha and her mercenary unit. I worked with them in the past, but they've been a godsend for bolstering our presence in contested territory. Here's the rest of the unit assignments in case you're interested. The rest of the letter contains a list of various soldiers and unit assignments. Anything else? Counselor?
Well, look at you. I'm impressed. The last person House Drez sent over was so much more scruffy. I have a meeting with House Halalu shortly, but I think I can spare a few more moments for you. To seal our partnership, you understand.
Not here about that. I want to know about Olran Relith.
Oh, you do you? And why in oblivion would I tell you anything about that?
Because I need to know the circumstances surrounding his trial and exile.
You're obviously not my afternoon appointment. You'd best take your leave before I have my soldiers throw you into the swamp.
I'm not leaving until you tell me why Olran had to die.
Olran's dead? That's news to me. All I know is that Olran was tested and found wanting. He decided that the life of an Ashlander was more important than that of a Redoran soldier. We stripped him of his rank and banished him from Vvardenfell.
Tested? Why was Olran tested?
Everyone knew Olran cared more about those savages than he did for members of his own house. But what does it matter who tested his loyalty? He failed and paid the price for his poor choices. Now, tell me what this is about before I get really angry.
I don't think your anger is going to matter in a moment.
That's what you're wearing? All right, but it's your funeral.
How dare you! I'm a lord of House Redoran, the Morag Tong.
The Morag Tong issued the writ with your name on it. You do remember that House Redoran frowns upon slavery these days, yes? Take another look around, hero, and see if you can find any Alakir massage oils? Fancy, but that has nothing to do with Olran. More proof the Dora was in bed with... That's Captain Briven's seal. I suppose our evil counselor courted favor wherever she could find it. The good Captain Briven appears to be more involved in Oron's fate than I had imagined. He never struck me as the type to use murder and deceit to get ahead, but that's the problem with greed. It causes decent people to make stupid choices.
Sounds like the captain is spreading Oron's soldiers to the four winds to make a fresh start.
Or he's trying to hide something. The letter mentioned an intact squad sent to scout the old fort. You need to get out there and see what those soldiers know before Briven gives them new orders and they disappear.
Should I let Vea know what we discovered first?
I suppose. She's probably pulled tight as a bowstring waiting to hear something. Go talk to Vea while I present my writ to the authorities. I can't wait to see the look on the Redoran Magister's face when I tell him what his counselor was up to.
I'll go talk to Vea. Vea.
Back again? Took your sweet time. You didn't learn anything, did you? Not that it matters. Oran's dead and nothing can change that.
We know where to find the soldiers who were with Oron the day of the incident.
What good is that going to do? They won't speak to us. House before family and all that. Believe me, I'm more than familiar with Redoran honor. Still, I suppose I know a few ways to get people to talk.
I don't think you should leave the safe house until Nario gets back.
More rules. I thought we were beyond those kinds of limitations. Look, I need to figure out who's responsible for Oren's death. House councillors, Redoran soldiers, Ashlanders, whoever it is, they need to pay.
Well, we also discovered that Captain Briven might have had a role in Oren's troubles.
Briven was Oren's best friend. Would he really betray my brother? Regardless, I want you to have this. You could have handed me to my father, and you didn't. Other than Naryu and Asher, you might be the only friend I have left.
No problem. Thank you for the helm.
So which soldiers are we talking about? I know most of the people my brother used to work with. Eyewitnesses are better than notes in the house registry, provided I can actually get them to talk to me.
Vatola Talem's squad. They're scouting the old fort, but I really think we should wait for Naryu.
There's no time to waste. That fort's near the cave where I was hiding. Last time I was there, the fort was crawling with cultists. We need to find them before Vatala and his soldiers wind up sacrificed to some Daedric prince.
A few more moments.
We'll get Vatala and his soldiers killed. I know the process. Turning in a writ can take hours, maybe even an entire day. I'll leave Naryu a note. She can meet us at the fort. I'm going. Either come with me or get out of my way.
Alright, I'll help you find the Redoran soldiers. Chill out.
Let me gather my gear and write a note for Naryu. I'll meet you near the Hlormaran stronghold. The more I think about it, the more convinced I am that we'll learn who's responsible for Oran's death soon. Then blood will flow.
Blood will flow? Don't you need a writ to kill someone?
As far as I'm concerned, rules got my brother killed. They don't apply to me anymore. Besides, to find the soldiers, we're probably going to have to carve a path through those cultists. The Morag Tong won't care about that.
I thought Naryu was responsible for your actions.
That's what the handbook says. Look, I know what Naryu's done for me. To keep me safe, I appreciate that. But this is about what they did to my brother. Nothing else matters. Not Naryu, not you. And certainly not me.
Don't force me to choose between you and Naryu.
No, never. You and Naryu aren't my enemies. I just need to get justice for Ulran. Otherwise his death will be the first of many. We have to be able to resist laws that make no sense or get people hurt, without being afraid of getting exiled.
You know Vatola Talem?
I know Vatala. He's a typical Redoran soldier, loyal to a fault, always spouting nonsense about house and honor above all. He was devoted to my brother, though. Ulran considered him to be one of his best.
Why didn't Vatola stand up for Oran at his trial.
Oran had a habit of putting the needs of others ahead of his own. He probably told Vatala and his soldiers to remain quiet. Decided to take responsibility and save them any heartache. I hope these soldiers remember that when we find them.
Well, let's get to it. I'll meet you there.
You're here, I'm here, the damn cultists are here. You know who isn't here? Vatala and his squad. They're probably hiding. Or dead. They better not be dead.
Have you seen Nario yet?
Naryu's probably busy clearing her writ, and we don't have time to wait. This opportunity to learn more about what happened to Oran won't last much longer. We need to find that squad of soldiers.
You know the area. Any ideas where we should look for the Redoran soldiers?
Their orders were to scout the old stronghold. I suggest we search along the outskirts and see if we can pick up their trail.
Sounds good, sounds good. Okay. See if we can pick up their trail. Oh shit.
Save me!
Nothing can save you.
A Redoran officer's sword. No Redoran soldier would leave that behind willingly.
Right. Damn.
Corporal Darvel. I knew him. But the others, they're civilians. They must have taken Tellem's soldiers inside.
Let's get inside then.
Let's find the soldiers and get out of here before these stupid cultists realize what's happening.
Let's do it.
Who's that? We won't let you take us without a fight.
Vatala.
Wait, Bea, is that you?
Thank the three! You're all still alive!
I'm not sure what you and Vare are doing here, but let us out. Then we can return Vare to her father. Councillor Eris has been terribly worried since she disappeared.
We want to know what happened to Oran.
This isn't the time or the place to have that discussion. Get the key to this cage and then we can find a private place to talk.
Any idea where I can find the key to your cage?
One of the cultists carries the key. I don't think he's too far away. We hear him patrolling around every so often. Free us, and I'll tell you whatever you want to know. You have my word as a Redoran and as an officer.
You
Guess that's
find
all
the
I can
key.
take.
Me and Vatala. We're going to have a little chat while we're waiting.
Okay.
Vare, I'm just trying to protect you.
From what? The truth? Oh, please. I want to know who did this to my brother.
That must have cost him.
Cost this.
Ah, another sacrifice for the Prince
I don't
of
think that.
Bargains.
You underestimate Meliodas. I will take you down and burn you. Feel the flames. My wrath.
Hey, wait! You can't leave us like this.
Attila? Feel my rage! The rage of the dragon! Atola!
I knew I shouldn't have told Vaya the truth. I just made everything worse. Please let us out of here. We have to stop Vaya before she does something she'll regret.
Where's Vaya? Tell me what happened.
I told her what she wanted to hear. I was with Captain Ulran the day everything happened. I was commanded to lure the Ashlanders to town and set up a situation for Ulran to deal with.
What kind of situation?
My orders were to invite the Ashlanders to Balmora to trade, send some local toughs to instigate a commotion, and then get Ulran to investigate. It was just supposed to be a loyalty test. Who expected Ulran to kill his own soldier to save a savage?
You said you were following orders. Who gave these orders?
Captain Briven, though he was still a lieutenant at the time. As soon as I explained all this to Vaya, her face turned dark and she stormed out of here. I think she's going to Balmora to kill him. You need to let me out so I can warn the captain.
You led Ulran into a trap and sent Vaya off in a foul temper. I'm just going to leave you here. Here's the key, but I want you to stay out of this. I'll deal with Vaya.
Thank you. Now, get to Balmora and stop Vaya before she does something she'll regret.
Can't leave him trapped here to be sacrificed. That wouldn't be right. Even if he did do that. Took her brother.
I leave you and Vaya alone for a couple of hours, and everything goes to oblivion in an ore cart. Why did Vaya leave the safe house? And why is House Redren tearing the city apart to find her?
Vaya couldn't wait, so we went to find the soldiers who were scouting the old fort.
You did what? I suppose you thought that was a good idea? Well, the damage is done. At least tell me you found something to make this debacle a little more palatable.
We learned that Briven gave the order that led to Ulran's banishment.
That explains why Vaya broke into the kin house. I'm not sure what happened in there, but she certainly stirred up the Redren soldiers. Vaya might still be inside. Or she might have given them the slip. She could be anywhere by now.
I can get inside and try to talk to her.
If Vaya kills Briven without a writ, the Morag Tong and House Redren will both want her head on a silver platter. You check the kin house. I'll grab Ashur and see if we can pick up Vaya's trail in the streets. Don't let me down, hero.
I'll do my best. We gotta get there. Before something happens. I knew it. I knew it was Briven. I knew Meliodas knows these things.
What is with all the Redren soldiers? Did something happen?
He knew that Briven was
something to do with the councillor's daughter.
dirty.
Scour the streets. Search the buildings. Vaya Releth does not leave this city.
The young woman, she killed them all. Didn't say a word, just walked in, drew her blades, and cut down every soldier who tried to stop her. And her eyes. I never saw such rage as I saw in her eyes.
Where did this young woman go?
She headed upstairs, to Captain Briven's apartment, I think. I can't believe she killed all these soldiers.
She didn't harm you?
No, she totally ignored us. Just the soldiers. Nobody else was harmed.
That's good. At least she's not just killing anything in sight. Upstairs, you said.
All hope seems lost.
to woe.
Vaya! You took what I love, now I'll do the same. The hell does that mean? Vaya?
What's the meaning of this? Where are the soldiers? If you're looking for my husband, I'll tell you the same thing that I told that brazen young woman. The council is meeting outside Balmora, and Briven is protecting the councillors. Now, if you don't mind, I've had more than enough excitement for one day.
The brazen young woman. What did she say?
I could barely make sense of the nonsense she was spouting. It was Vaya, Councillor Eris's daughter. Everything she said was a ramble. Something about my husband betraying her brother, that my Briven had to suffer just as she was suffering.
She didn't harm you, did she?
She had a knife, but no, she didn't harm me. She said her brother wouldn't hurt an innocent, that I wasn't responsible for his death. Do you have any idea what she was talking about? Because I certainly don't.
Where's the council meeting you mentioned?
You shouldn't get involved. That young woman will hasten her own death if she thinks she can get past my husband and his soldiers. But if you insist, the meeting is taking place at the garrison north of Balmora.
You might want to seek shelter somewhere else. Vaya left a trail of dead soldiers downstairs.
Dead soldiers? They were just protecting the kin house. I'll go stay with my sister in Vivek.
That's good. You do that.
Please tell me you found Vaya. I can already feel the cold steel of the executioner's blade on the back of my neck.
Vaya's going to the Red Council meeting to confront Captain Briven.
Is Vaya trying to get herself killed? You can't just barge into a Redren garrison and ask the soldiers to stand aside while you murder their captain. We have to get to her before she gets to Briven.
Vaya also left a trail of dead Redren soldiers in the kin house.
She murdered soldiers without a writ. This is a dark path she's decided to follow. And unless we play this just right, it's not going to end well for any of us. Let's find Vaya and put a stop to this. We can deal with any consequences after that.
I'll meet you at the garrison outside the city. Alright. Let's hope it's not too late.
I don't like the looks of this. Briven is using war claws to patrol the garrison instead of Redren soldiers. Either house forces are stretched thinner than I thought, or Briven wants to justify the use of mercenaries to the council.
What do the war claws have to do with anything?
Maybe nothing, maybe everything. We know Ulron refused to employ mercenaries. He hated counting on thugs to do the right thing. I expect the Redren Council feels the same. Maybe Briven's trying to show them what the war claws can do.
We might have to fight our way through the mercenaries, so.
The war claws may be a blessing in disguise. I can explain killing these bastards a lot easier than trying to wipe Redren blood off my hands. Let's go stop Vaya. I'm ready when you are, hero.
How do we get into the garrison?
There's no stealthy way to approach this. The front door's our only option. Then we track down Briven, find Vaya, bonk her on the head, and get her out of here before she does something I can't fix. Easy as gore apple pie.
Let's get to work. Follow my lead. Take him out. Bring shame on our people. Vaya!
Glad to see we all made it. Now let's find Brivin before Vea skewers him.
Brivin?
Split off!
Damn mercenaries.
Need healing!
Who else? You only think you know the power of fire. Let Meliodas show you its true potential.
Nothing yet, eh? I hear voices behind this door, but it's locked tight. Keep looking, hero.
Heal me!
Heal this!
Captain Brivin is on his way. Soon we'll have a permanent job in House Redderin, yes?
I don't think so.
Kill the intruders. They have interfered for the last time.
Come on, Varaha. Just me and you. Come on. Feel the flames.
What's going on down here? It sounds like a... You! What are you doing here? Explain yourself!
I'm here for you, actually.
What in the name of the three are you up to? I thought you worked for Councillor Eris. You better have a damn good reason for killing the mercenary leader. I ought to sound the alarm and let her warriors deal with the likes of you.
I came to warn you. Vea knows what you did. She wants to kill you.
Vea? She's barely out from under her mother's apron and she presumes to judge my actions? No matter. Whatever your motives, nothing justifies the blatant killing of Ferhara and her mercenaries. Councillor Eris can't protect you this time, Outlander.
What about your motives? Oron's exile and death are on your head.
Ah, now everything becomes clear. Vea learned something of her brother's fate and wants to retaliate. Then let her come. But know this, I merely set the events in motion. I didn't conceive the plan.
Then who did? Tell me who's responsible for what happened to Oron.
You're looking for the responsible party. Then look no further than Councillor Eris. He wanted to prove his son's loyalty to the House, to show that Oron's fascination with the savage Ashlanders hadn't corrupted him. Well, look how that turned out.
This whole thing started as a test of Oron's loyalty?
A test Oron failed. Eris was devastated when his son sided with the savages, and his daughter ran away. He decided to resign his position. He'll make the announcement today. Eris hopes to restore his family, but I think it's a lost cause.
Especially if Vea finds out that her father set all this in motion. Vea!
That's for Oron. Choke on your own blood, you bastard. My father,
Vea,
the
wait!
entire council, they're all guilty. They all have to die. I have to do this, so stay out of my way.
Vea actually did it.
Rio, she's going after her father.
Cold blood. Vea killed Briven without a writ. It was pure, focused rage. I never expected her to go through with it. If Vea doesn't get herself killed up there, the Morag Tong will hunt her down and execute her, like a rabid gua. Her and me both.
We can still save Eris and the rest of the counselors.
I'm not sure they deserve to be saved, but that's what we have to do. Vea can't be allowed to kill the counselors. We have to stop her. It's more than me and Vea's lives on the line. Something like this could destroy the Morag Tong.
What do you mean, destroy the Morag Tong?
The Morag Tong only recently began to find acceptance again. Vea's actions don't just reflect badly on me. They could be used to force us back into the shadows, maybe even disband us all together. We're both going to have to answer for this.
What do you want me to do?
We have to get ahead of her. Cut her off. There's a door on the main floor, near the kitchens, that should allow us to come at the council meeting from another direction. I was able to get it open when I was scouting around up there. Let's go.
Lead the way. Alright. I'll lead the way. Whatever. Said the kitchen. That's just upstairs, right? This is a damn maze.
Nothing's more important than reaching the council meeting. If the mercenaries get in our way, cut them down.
There shouldn't be any other mercenaries. At least in this building.
Everyone, calm down. Councillor Eris will deal with this.
Damn it!
We're safe
Come on!
here. There's no need to panic.
No need to panic. She's cut down every mercenary in her way. Her father won't be able to stop her.
Vea's getting close. We're running out of time.
Yes, we are! These damn war claws!
Let me try to open this door.
Hurry up!
Vea, daughter. I'm
Vea, don't!
so sorry. I never meant for any of this to happen.
Come on, stubborn, stupid look.
Father, why? Does the house really matter more than your own son?
I needed to protect Ulron, to prove his loyalty. If I could do it all over again.
But you can't. None of us can. That's why I
They
have to
no.
do this.
That's an order.
Vaya! Damn it, get this open, Nario.
I'm not your apprentice anymore. The house has grown corrupt, evil. That's why all the counselors have to die.
Get this damn door open. Vaya! Don't make me do this.
No more rules. No more secrets.
Don't make
House
me
veteran falls
do this.
today.
Enough, Vaya. This isn't the way.
Damn it, Vaya.
Vaya's down.
So much bloodshed. So much needless death. If only Eris would have listened. Outlander, we should speak. I think we... The Morag Tong agent. She cares deeply for Vaya, doesn't she? It takes great courage to go against your heart and do what you know is best. You both did that by protecting the Council. For that, you have my thanks.
What did you mean when you said we could help each other?
A series of regrettable decisions led to this family tragedy, and most of them were made by Eris Relith. I knew of Ulron's compassion concerning the Ashlanders. It was unorthodox, but not worthy of the punishment meted out. Eris was wrong.
I thought the entire council was involved.
Eris convinced Briven to test Ulron. Then the two of them decided to slaughter the Ashlanders. Oh, the council allowed itself to be convinced that exile was an appropriate punishment, but we were wrong to let it go as far as it did.
House Redoran doesn't want the Ashlander territory?
I didn't say that, but we're not butchers. We do not hire mercenary thugs to wipe out an entire people. This gathering was to deal with that. Eris planned to step down, and we were going to demote Briven for the part he played.
What happens next?
House Redoran behaved poorly. Morag Tong rules were violated. I suggest we make sure these details never see the light of day. Leave the bodies where they are. We will say that Vaya died protecting her father and the Council from the War Claws.
And what do we have to do in exchange?
Cooperate with House Redoran and hold your tongues. It's as simple as that. I shall return to the Council meeting and conclude our business. When we're finished, I expect you and Naryu to both be gone. That is all, Outlander.
Whatever you say, Counselor.
I'm not sure about this. It's a generous offer, but those are some big secrets to sweep under a rug. Besides, Vaya isn't dead. At least not yet. She's still breathing.
How is that a problem?
The High Counselor thinks we killed her. The deal hinges upon all of us forgetting this sorry mess ever happened. Besides, once Vaya regains her senses, there's every likelihood that she'll try to kill the counselors again.
You don't think you can convince her to go along with this?
When have I ever been able to convince Vaya to do anything she didn't want to do? There's Redoran blood on Vaya's hands. Once the Morag Tong ties those unauthorized murders to her, she's as good as dead anyway. And, more than likely, so am I.
So how do you want to handle this?
I don't see many options. We can either finish off Vaya now, and go along with the High Counselor's deception, or we slip out of here with Vaya and send her far, far away. She broke her vows and deserves to die. I know that. but it still feels wrong.
Vaya deserves a second chance. We can worry about the rest later. She acted in anger, maybe sending her away. I don't know. Worst case, she wipes out this corrupt government of counselors and, whatever. But I don't think we should kill her. She's grieving. Should let her grieve.
You're right. If anyone's to blame for all this, it's me. I wasn't a good enough mentor. If for no other reason, Vaya deserves a second chance. Look, you need to leave. We'll meet back in Balmora. And Hero, thanks. Go on. I'll get her out of here before the council notices and meet you in Balmora.
All right. See you there.
How many times have I told you not to stick your blade in your apprentice's Nayu? She'll live, but she can't stay here. Not after what she's done.
I've got that covered. Vaya won't be staying in Vvardenfell. Ashur did an outstanding job. For an assassin, he's got a gift for the healing arts. Vaya's going to live. Now I just have to convince her to listen to me this time.
Doesn't our agreement with the High Counselor assume Vaya died at the garrison?
And as far as she knows, she did. Now Vaya needs to disappear. Otherwise, both Redren and the Morag tongue will go after her. Believe me, nobody survives that kind of attention. Vaya didn't ask for everything that happened. She only wanted justice.
How is Vaya going to disappear?
I've arranged for a ship captain I know to meet us in Vivek City. From there, Vaya will sail to Somerset and rendezvous with an associate of mine. He's kind of furry and a bit of an arse, but he's good people. He'll take care of Vaya.
What's going to happen to you?
As long as everyone sticks to the bargain, I go about my usual business. A writ here, a nice bath there, maybe a few intimate encounters along the way to relieve the tension, you understand. I just hope Vaya's good with all this. She has to be.
Well, take care of yourself. How are you?
Always, Hero. Oh, hey, I want you to have this. Something to remember me by until we meet again. I hope you don't leave here with the impression that all dark elves are conniving dirtbags. Some of us are also kind of sexy. Like me, for instance.
Yes, like you.
Nari, what happened?
Quiet, Vaya. Rest now. We can talk later.
Take care, Vaya. Sorry for all you've been through. You will always have a friend with Meliodas.